Okay, so if you're a cosmetic maker, chances are you've seen the online panic about rose ketones. Is this some new rule that's putting your business at risk? Well, today we're going to cut right through all that noise and get you the facts. Let's dive in.
So picture this. You're scrolling through social media and you see a post about a brand new regulation, and your heart just sinks. Believe me, you are not alone. This rumor has been causing a huge wave of totally unnecessary stress all across the small business community. And that stress, it leads to some really, really tough questions, especially when it's the busiest time of year, right? You're probably asking yourself, are my products okay? Oh my gosh, do I need to shell out money for a new cosmetic product safety report? And what on earth am I going to do about my Christmas markets? These are completely valid fears, but let's get you some answers and put your mind at ease.
All right, first things first, let's just set the record straight. We are going to fact check this rumor and figure out exactly where this whole story even came from. Okay, let me be perfectly 100% clear. The regulation on rose ketones is not new. I'm going to say it again for everyone in the back. This is not new legislation. Seriously, if you only take one thing away from this, let it be this. Your business has not been blindsided by some sudden, out-of-the-blue rule change. This slide right here really highlights the huge gap between the rumor and the reality. The social media buzz is all about a new rule causing widespread panic. But the simple fact is, this has been a standard part of cosmetic regulations in both the UK and the EU for over a decade. And the history on this is crystal clear. The 0.02% limit for rose ketones was put in place way back in July of 2013, and today, it's exactly the same as it was then. The law itself has not changed one bit. Okay, so if the rule isn't new, what exactly is it? And maybe more importantly, why is everyone suddenly talking about it now? Let's break it all down. First off, what even are rose ketones? Well, to put it simply, they're just a group of chemical compounds that are used in some fragrances. And since 2013, they've been restricted to a maximum concentration of 0.02% in the final cosmetic product that you sell. And this isn't just for rose scents, by the way. They can be in all sorts of fragrance oils. It's also super important to separate this from all the other industry buzz. The rose ketone limit has nothing to do with the recent IFRA 51 amendment. That's a whole other thing. It's also not connected to the EU's new allergen labeling rules, and it's definitely not some result of Brexit. It is its own, long-standing, separate regulation. And this brings us right back to the million-dollar question. If this rule is so old, why the sudden explosion of chatter online? What changed? And honestly, the answer is pretty simple. It's all about visibility. The law hasn't changed, but the paperwork has. Fragrance suppliers are now explicitly listing rose ketones on their allergen documents, which just makes it way easier for everyone to spot. So it's not a new rule, it's just a newly highlighted one. The source article from Cosmetic Safety Solutions puts it perfectly with this example. For many of you who've been in the game for a while, you'll probably remember being told a really popular fragrance dupe could only be used at a very specific low percentage. Remember that? Well, why was that? It was because of regulatory limits on ingredients inside that fragrance. It's exactly like this rose ketone rule. Same principle, just a different chemical name in the spotlight. So let's bring all this home. What does this mean for you, for your products, and frankly, for your peace of mind? Here is the most reassuring part of this whole thing. Any experienced, responsible safety assessor has had this on their radar for years. This is not news to them. They have been checking for this specific limit all along as just a standard part of their professional process. You see, a professional assessor's process is all about diligence. They get the right documents from the suppliers, they check that your formula is compliant with every single rule, including this one, and they do all of that before they even send you an invoice. Your final cosmetic product safety report, your CPSR, that's just the end result of all this thorough upfront work. And I want to leave you with this really wonderful, reassuring message that comes directly from Joanne, the author of the source material. She says, I hope this helps to put some minds at rest. Enjoy the markets. Your products are wonderful. And that really is the whole goal here. So the panic over a new rule, it was a false alarm. But it did reveal a much, much more important question. So don't worry about this old rule. Instead, ask yourself this. Is my safety assessor this thorough? Because that is the question that truly protects the future of your business.